I think stage is set. I agree with Navroz that as far as big picture is concerned, I don't think there is a difference between all of us. I think the difference is on emphasis. Okay. I come from a perspective that, today everyone is saying we do not know enough. But in 2015, we knew that mid-century decarbonization is part of the Paris Agreement. Okay. For 6 years, and I think Mr. Rashmi made that point very well, that this debate was already there. It's just that we were not prepared. We refused to participate in the international debate. It's thanks to Anurabha and Terry, we have two models. But what stopped government of India to do multiple models, to understand what we can achieve by 2050, 2060? So my approach in this entire debate, Anshu, is that I think for 30 years, we have reacted to what others have told us. We haven't created our own agenda, what we want. Okay. And that's why I said, the time to be afraid of international negotiations is over. Okay. If India really wants to play an important game, be an important player, then let's play from the front foot. Okay. We have played on the back foot for a long time. And that's how I'm approaching this debate. And therefore, I have in my article very clearly said that the debate of net zero is not over. And I think the debate has just started. And we need to put a framework under which India should agree to discuss net zero and bring global consensus of that. Everyone thinks that there are 120 countries who have agreed on net zero. That's not true. These are pledges. I don't think these countries have even done analysis to understand what net zero means to them. Okay, we don't know what it means to them. I'm expecting a whole lot of African countries do not know what it means to them. So I think the debate on net zero is over, not over. It's just the beginning. And India needs to put a framework around which we should be discussing net zero. And I have pointed out 5 in my article. I will add one more today. I have said it has to be built on self-differentiation. It has to be flexible. And I think Anurabha made that point that you will have destructive technology which will allow us to do things much more quickly. It has to be legal. It can't be that countries make pledge and run away. It has to be rooted in domestic law. That's the third point I have made. Fourth point is that it has to be built on NDCs, 5 years, 10 years target. If US is serious about net zero, then it should give a really ambitious 2030 target, and so should Europe. Fifth, it should be built on just transition. You cannot have net zero debate divested from just transition debate. They both must go parallel. And lastly, which I have added today, essentially listening to all of you, that it also has to be built around a financial framework. And most importantly, restructuring of global financial system. I think there has to be a extensive reform that needs to happen in a global financial system. Today, the most vulnerable country pays the highest interest rate. Okay, how do you expect Bangladesh to invest in resilient infrastructure if the global capital is going to come at 20% interest rate? Okay, so I think that's another debate that needs to be built. Now, I have gone through both the models. Okay, both Terry model and CW's model. They bring out the effort that is required. And I must say that, the effort required is quite steep. Now, all of us who have grown in the last 30 years in environmental debate understand one thing very clearly, that nothing in the world is linear. Okay. If you look at the limits to growth, which we all were educated by the limits to growth, essentially the world is exponential. Okay. So the growth in the next 30 years in any technology is going to be exponential. And we just have to only see what has happened in the past 30 years. Okay, I just collected some data. In past 30 years, Indian cement industry has grown 10 times, 10 folds, from 57 million tons to 540 million tons today, at a growth rate of 8%. Okay, our steel production has grown from 14 million ton to 108 million ton, 8 times in the last 30 years. Our electricity sector has grown 6-fold. What does it tell you? It tells you that as far as growth is concerned, in any technology, if capital is available, if demand is available, if technology is available, I don't think effort is going to be a problem. If renewable sector today grows just at 8%, it will increase 10 folds by 2050. From 100 gigawatt, we will be at least 1,000 gigawatt just at 8% growth rate.
We have 30 seconds.
So the point I'm trying to make is, though effort is steep, I think we have to think exponentially, not linearly, as far as effort is concerned. The last point I want to make is that while all the models, even across the world, talks about effort and cost, I think a model is only complete when it starts talking about opportunity, benefits, co-benefits, and avoided cost. Just pick up the modeling studies done in this country in the last 5 years. Okay, air pollution cost is 1.5 to 5%, depending on what model you pick up. Extreme weather event costs us $10 billion. Okay, we ourselves, estimate that our adaptation cost is going to be $200 billion every year. As far as heat wave is concerned, the recent World Bank study says that we will lose 1.5 or I guess 2.5 to 4.5% of GDP because of lost labor. Okay, so while we need to discuss cost and effort, I think simultaneously we need to discuss benefit, co-benefit, and opportunity. I think that will make a complete discussion. I believe that India should proactively and confidently engage in this debate. I don't think anyone is expecting India to announce 2050 net zero target. Okay, if China is 2060, I don't think even Europeans are thinking about India at 2050. Okay, so let me end by saying that it is very important for us to start playing on the front foot. Thank you.